Hey everybody, how's it going? Hope you're having a lovely day. Today I'd like to answer a question from the audience about recent videos I've done where I suggest people utilize two plugins. One of them is SponsorBlock and the other one is uBlock Origin. uBlock Origin is a web browser plugin that you could use in virtually any browser and any operating system. I can use this on Firefox on mobile, I can use this on Chrome on Windows, I can use this on Firefox on Linux, and it will block advertisements on websites. It uses these lists that are curated by the community, and it is open source, so you could see what it's doing. People audit this shit all the time to make sure that they're not doing some shady shit, and if they are, somebody's going to figure it out. And there's also SponsorBlock, which takes those annoying segments in YouTube videos where somebody will talk about something completely unrelated to the topic of the fucking video, and it skips them. You have everybody in the community working together to find all these little annoying timestamps and then submit them so that when you're watching a video, it skips over it. You have something like Ben Shapiro, and he's talking about whatever the fuck he is to get the right angry at the left and the left angry at the right, so they all hate each other. It's very interesting, by the way, in that one video he does in the United CEO stuff. One of the top voted comments is, today is the day that I learned that you making money is dependent on us hating each other. And it's like, you figured it out. Welcome to Political Commentators. One of the things that you'll hear is like, ExpressVPN. Now, if you sign up for ExpressVPN, you won't let big tech get access to your data. And it's like, bitch, when I log in at Facebook.com as Louis Rossman, and I post shit as Louis Rossman, and I'm private messaging on their platform as Louis Rossman, and I have browser cookies with all the spying shit in it, They have all my data. Trust me, bro. It doesn't fucking matter what my IP address is. I don't usually use the trust me, bro saying, but it doesn't matter what my IP address is. They figured out, they kind of know who I am, and they have the ability to collect quite a bit of data on who I am. And point being, you don't need to hear this shit because it's just random crap being showed all the time that often has nothing to do with the video. Now, why am I recommending these things, and why am I recommending them now? People have asked if I'm recommending these things now because I did that 1 hour video on Linus where I'm talking about how there's just fundamentally no accountability and responsibility taken in advertising anymore. That's something I've been saying for a long time. Yes, it makes me sad that that even viewers are like, yeah, you know what, I prefer to not have that stuff disclosed to me. Like, yeah, but this is something I've been going over for a long time. This is a video that I made on April of 2024, talking about banks using purchase history for targeted ads. And in the video thumbnail, in all caps, in bright letters, block all ads. Block all ads. This is a guide that I came out with. I took off October, November, and a bit of December to write this thing. It's a 1,100-page guide on setting up pretty much open source software for every single element in your life and how to avoid using all of Amazon, Apple, Google, Microsoft, all this other shit, and how to just do stuff yourself. And there's a giant section in this guide I made several months ago on blocking all ads on all your devices. And the reason that I think this is important is because there are three horsemen of the data privacy apocalypse. The three horsemen here are advertising, insurance, machine learning. Everybody wants to target their advertisements to the person that's most likely to buy that particular product. The only way to figure out who you're targeting is to have as much data on them as humanly possible. Companies want to know, how much should I be charging you for your car insurance? And they're going to do that based on having every single piece of information on how you use your vehicle. And when it comes to machine learning, I don't have a problem when people scrape. If you scrape my website and you learn about what I said in a public blog, that's one thing. But a lot of companies now are trying to sneak in this shit through the back door where they can use my private data that I have behind lock and key in their application to train their machine learning. We can talk about data privacy laws and all this stuff until we're blue in the face, but what I think is really important is removing the underlying incentives. One of the three horsemen of the data privacy apocalypse are advertisements. So if people are not watching ads, they don't view ads, they don't click on ads, they don't make purchases based on ads, advertisements lose their value. When advertisements lose their value, collecting and sucking up your personal data no longer has any value. Rather than having something that you can monetize for lots of money, you're just a creepy ass dude that has a bunch of information on what episodes of Gossip Girl I watched when I was 19 years old because I had a crush on Leighton Meester. We all have our skeletons in our closet. Don't judge me. So I like to deal with the root cause, the underlying concern. If advertisements have no value, then data collection has less value. Now, when it comes to the monetary effect that this has on creators, yes, if you use uBlock, creators make less money. Here's why I don't care. This is a video I produced last year. I clicked on some random video from my list of shit and I got this. 200,000 views, $100.53. Do the math on this. If you view one of my videos every single day for the next year, you could buy me a pack of Winterfresh gum and I've been given more value than if you watched every single ad. The amount of ads that you watch is not worth your time. Fundamentally, like it's not worth it for me to take up hours of your time so that I could receive like what, 12, 20 cents? Like somebody can do the math on that has a working brain. But you get the point here that that's not an amount of money that matters. It's a joke. And it's not even because I don't do this as a job. I don't do YouTube as a job. This is, I've been screaming into a camera since I had 5 subscribers, and that was not content I expected would make me famous. I'll leave it at that. There's that little oldest button you can click on the videos tab, and you can make that decision for yourself. It's not even about whether or not I do this as a job. If I did this as a job, if this was my way of life, what I would do is I would say, if you watch one video every single day of the year and you really like my stuff that much, give me a quarter. Because I'm better off with you giving me a quarter a year than I am with you wasting your fucking life away on ads. This is not a good business model. It's not a business model that makes sense. Above all, we're not making content for the right reasons. If I make content where you pay me after you receive value from it, then I have to create content that actually makes sense to you. If I get paid when you view the ad before you actually watch the video, then all I'm going to do is I'm going to make videos that make you click. I'm going to use thumbnails that are like, I'm going to use titles that are all caps all the time, and I'm going to use titles that are not very obvious as to what the video is until you click on it. If I only get paid after you've chosen whether or not I provided value, now I'm going to be making a different type of content. I'm going to be making content that's for my audience, not content that's going to play to the lowest common denominator in their brain. That curiosity about something that you get in a fucking tabloid when you're checking out a Pathmark, or the part of your brain that's just curious as to why is that person making that face? If I make that face and I make a video that's irrelevant to you, you're going to decide at the end of that, fuck this shit, I'm not clicking that anymore. My underlying point here is that the type of content that people create is going to be massively different if you're deciding to pay after you've gotten the value rather than paying before you've gotten the value. If they get the money from the click versus getting the money later when you actually decided if it's good, then you're going to get those bullshit thumbnails. You're going to get bullshit titles. You're going to get videos where people are going over shit that they don't even care about or believe in or want to bother with because you get a click from it. But if you had this type of revenue model, which would be a completely different revenue model, not only do you get rid of all these concerns about data privacy, not only do you attack the fucking root of the tree rather than trying to trim the leaves or something of this thing that's overflowing into your yard, but you also wind up with a community landscape with much better content. Look at these rates. Like, this is a joke. I mean, to be clear, I understand why people have in-video sponsorships. If you're doing YouTube as a living, I have no fucking clue how you make this shit work. None. Like, I understand why people have in-video sponsorships. If these are the ad rates, you need it. If you feel really bad about the fact that you've blocked everybody's sponsors and the fact that you've used uBlock Origin on everything, and you are viewing a YouTube creator, not me, but like somebody that actually, this is their job full time, give them a quarter. Give them $1. I guarantee you that dollar that you give them is more valuable than if you do not click skip on any of their advertisements for the next 5 years. That's sad, but that's the way this shit works. Your eyeballs are massively more valuable than advertisers are paying for them right now. And frankly, your time is much more valuable than what advertisers are paying for them right now. And you're not even the one getting compensated. This is not about screwing over content creators or fucking over everybody and not getting them paid. This is about coming up with a better system that is not based on this exploitative shit that requires that you have all your data mines from you and the creators are forced to dance like fucking clowns to appeal to the worst elements of your brain, that little id in there that's like, oh, pretty thumbnail, I click, or oh, that's a crazy title, I click. If you pay for what it is you consume only after you've chosen if it's valuable, you're going to see a giant shift in the type of content that's created versus somebody getting paid before you've decided if it's valuable. Something to think about. If you really feel guilty, if it destroys you inside when I tell you to use uBlock or one of these plugins, give them a quarter at the end of the year. They will be so much better off financially than if you watched every ad, every sponsor, and never clicked skip. Your time is worth way more to you than the fucking 15 or 20 cents a year that I get. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. That's it for today. And as always, I hope you learned something. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye now.